Hello, and today I'm going to be going through motion study on Solidworks 2018. I think this will be quite useful video for teachers that want to show drawings as a teaching resource. So first thing we want to do is we want to get all our parts that we're going to need. So what I'm showing here today is a cylinder being robatted to a given angle represented by this yellow plane here. I'll stick to my isometric, and we have, as we can see here, this plane here. If I hide it, we have another plane behind it. So we have everything that we need to represent this question. So first thing we want to do next thing we want to do, is go to motion study. Now, what we're going to need is we're going to need reference views, so that if we have specific views that we want to look at, that we can refer back to them every single time. So we click spacebar and we go to the view that we want. So I want isometric, this isometric view. Once I have it lined up, I click spacebar again and I go to my little telescope here that says new view, the little orange sun. I click it and I type in the view that I want. You can name it any way you want. Isometric, hopefully that's the right way. Oh, cancel. And once we have isometric, that's the view saved. When we click spacebar again, we can see it down here. I also want to do that with my plan and elevation. So now that I have my three saved, I can click isometric, goes to isometric, I can click my elevation and plan. Go back to my... Now, once we've clicked, the one thing you want to make sure is that when you're doing this, you're in your motion study. If you do this in your model view, sometimes they don't line up the way you want them, and you want to line this up for the video, so you want to make sure you're doing this in motion study. Next thing we want to do is we want to go down to orientation and camera views. Want to right click on that and then disable view key creation. We'll click on that. We right click, there should be no grey around the diamond there. Now, at the start of our video, this is not all going to be shown, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hide the parts that aren't going to be shown at the beginning. That's not going to be shown, and that's not going to be shown. So we can see here, I go to isometric view and we zoom in, we look around, we can see our shape there with our plan and elevation of the object lined up. Now, at the beginning of our video, this is what we want to show. We want to show this for 2 seconds just to show it off. What we're going to do, once we've clicked orientation and camera views, we've hidden all the parts that we don't want to see. We click on our 2 second like that, and the orange line will show us that we're on our 2 seconds now. We move with our mouse wheel. We can see here that a black line appears. That means that there's a movement in our camera view, but we want it to stay still for 2 seconds. So what we do to make sure we move it, we click our spacebar again and we go to our view that's already given. So that means over 2 seconds here, nothing happens. And we want to take for 1 second to go to our elevation. So we click 1 second ahead, move with our mouse wheel, and we click elevation. And we want it to wait there for 2 seconds. So we click another 2 seconds ahead, and we want it to stay still. So we move our view, click spacebar, and click elevation. Another way of doing this would be if I click, I'm going to do it again. What I can do is I can right click on my diamond here, elevation. I can click copy, and I can, when my mouse goes this, right click and paste. and it also works the same way. I like to do it this way, so I make sure that the view, I know exactly what it is, and if you copy and paste, sometimes you can forget. So we want it to hold there for 2 seconds, and now another second later we want it to go to plan. So we move our view again, click spacebar and go to plan. Hold it there for 2 seconds, move our view and plan again, and then 1 second later, actually well 2 seconds later, to bring it up to 10 seconds, back to our isometric. Now once we get to our isometric here, we want it to hold it there for a second. Again, there we go. Now at this 11-second mark, what we want to have as our plane appear. So what we do is we go to a second ahead, what I like to do, and we go to our object, if we find it, and we click show. That means this pink line will appear. That means from 0 to 12 seconds it will fade in. We don't want it to fade in from 0 to 12. We go back to our time that we wanted it to appear, and we right click on it and we click hide, and it should be hidden at that time, and now it will appear for that second. So I'm going to show you now what we've done. I'm going to click play from start, and it should show us what happens. And there we have it. Now we have our plane in. What we want next is we want our view to change. So we have it faded in there, another second. Now we're going to move to our elevation. Now we want to be careful there, because if we see here now that we're going to have a view, so we're going to go back to our 12 seconds, and we're going to move our view, and we're going to make sure it's at our isometric. There we go. Go to our 12 seconds, we're at our elevation view. We can see our plane there that's represented in a line, or our given angle. Now we want our back to fade out, and we want a new back to come in. So what we're going to do is we're going to hide that at this time. Same thing again. This line will come in. We go to second ahead, and we click it, and we want to show it. We drag it back, and at this stage now we want it fading out. We move it there. Once we get to here, actually we want that there, and we want this here. So once we get to there, it'll start fading out, and we want it this second. Now we want our workings to fade in. So we found our part here, and we're going to fade that in at this second. And we want that faded in here, so we'll just drag it there. And at this second now, we want it hidden, so we click hide, and there we go. Now I'm just going to show you from here now. I'm going to click play instead of play from start. And there we go. Now we can see our workings. Now we want our cylinder to be on its side. Now there are two ways of doing this. One way is you can have your cylinder already there, which I'm going to show you, and another way is you could actually have it rotate into position. I find the rotating into position to be difficult, to say the least, so this is an easier way to do it. So another second later, what we're going to have is we're going to have our cylinder to fade out. Be careful. And we want it being shown at this time. Oh, wrong way. We go ahead. Get rid of that one. Go second ahead, and this on here. And we click show. We drag it back, and there we go. So at this time now, we want our cylinder. Actually, we'll hold it there for half a second, and then we want our cylinder to come in. New cylinder. I'll just find it. There it is. Click show, and then we want it to be hidden here. I'll drag it there. So we'll just give a play from the beginning and see how we're getting on. Now it's good to click play from the beginning sometimes just to see how the overall look of your creation is coming on. Now, there we have our cylinder on its side, and we can see our arcs there from our point of rotation there. Now, another second, we're going to move on, and now we want our new plane that we created here, we want that to fade in, fade out, and our third plane, or our third back wall, our third elevation to fade in. What I'm going to do actually now is I'm going to move to our elevation view, or our isometric view here, but we don't want to see all this, so what we're going to have is we're going to have here, at this point in time, we're still going to be at our elevation. So there we go. We can see there's no movement in camera here, but then there is here. So once we're here, we can see that our plan didn't move with us. So what we're going to do is we're going to fix that. And we're just going to fix everything while we're going. So first things first, I'm going to want this to be faded out by the time we get moving. So at this moment in time, I'm going to move my camera now just so we don't, so we can see what we're doing. We want this to be hidden. And where do we want it to be shown at? Oh, we go ahead, we click show, and then we click back. And there we have our fading moment. And at this stage then, we want our new bottom plane to be in. There we go. Found it. Show. So we drag that a bit ahead, and then we want it hidden at this moment in time. And if we move to here, we should see it in. Yep. There we go. And now that was at elevation, so we'll go back to elevation view. And we want this gone. So we'll click hide. We can see here that sometimes this might happen. Same thing again. We want it shown at this moment in time. Sorry, no, you go ahead, show, and drag behind. Now we drag this to here. There we go. And at this moment in time, once the camera is moving, we want our new back wall to be in play. So we just click down through our views. 1 second, I'll go here so we can see it better. Yeah, this is it here. We want that to be shown. We want that to be shown here. Actually, I'm pretty sure we can just drag that up. Yep, it's perfect. So now let's see how we look. So we can see that there was movement there in the back wall while the camera was moving. Drag that there. We don't want that, so we want to drag this back a bit. We want to drag that back a bit as well. So you click on the time and click play, so you don't have to watch the whole thing going. There we go. And next thing we want to do, half a second later, we want this to be faded out. Same thing again. Second ahead, go to your view, click show, and then we drag it back. We'll just give it an extra bit of time there. Now let's watch that from the beginning. And there we have it. We have created our little video to represent a cylinder hinging to a given angle. Now there are a few things that you could work on. Maybe if you wanted it to slow down or speed up, or if you wanted a fade transitioning to speed up or slow down. Those are the sort of things you can work on yourself. But for this, showing you how to do it, that's how I did it. Now to save as an animation, you click this, and then when we go assembly for video, that was the name of this little project. Now save type as, oh sorry, yeah, and that's, once you get here you just click save, and I've already it saved, so I don't want that. I'll click no. But once you get there, then you have it, and you have your little settings to however you want to save it, and then it'll go just render it up, and there you go. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask, and I'll try and help. Thank you.